Will you still receive a Social Security check if you live outside of the United States? That is a good question. There are more than 6 million Americans living outside of the United States. Okay. And we have countless others that are probably planning to leave the US as I speak. Now, I'm going to speak specifically to those of you who are nearing the retirement age or at retirement age because I want to talk specifically about Social Security. I know that there are a number of you that are planning to move, are already living outside the United States that are not in that Social Security bracket, but this message is specifically for those who are relying on the money that they have earned through Social Security. Okay. So the question is, will you continue to receive it? Possibly, but it's also a possibility that you will not. So let's look at precedent first. Okay. Has the United States ever stopped retirement checks for expats? And the answer is yes. Look at 1985 when retirees living in Vietnam and Cambodia stopped receiving Social Security. The US stopped their checks. So there is a precedent for them doing this. Let's also look at some recent events, okay? January 2025, we saw new overseas banking restrictions for expats, okay? I believe they cited things like money laundering and fraud, but we see a tightening and some shifts when it comes to banking for expats, okay? Let's also look at our political climate and let's look at Project 2025. Because if you want to know the plans that are in play, that is a key document you have to read. So, what does it say when it comes to Social Security? It says, number one, it will raise the retirement age. Okay, so for those of you who are currently at full retirement at the age of 67, Project 2025 talks about that moving to 69. Okay. Now, many of you will say, well, he said he won't do that. He said, never, ever, ever go by what he said. Okay. Think about the reality show. What was the key? One of the key takeaways from a reality show: keep saying a thing enough and people will always believe you. No one is relying on you to go read the documents. Okay. All right. So look at what's already in the plan. Okay. Privatization of Social Security is part of the plan. All righty. What else is part of the plan? Oh, restricting Social Security for those who choose to live outside of the United States. That is in the Project 2025 plan. Okay, you can go read it for yourself. It's there. So you have precedents. It's been done before, and it's part of the plan. So we should not be shocked. But let me cite for those of you who need a little bit more. Let me also cite something else that just came to my mind. If I could find it right quick. Um, okay. This is also current. Current, all right. Look at the Financial Accountability Act. That makes it harder for expats to access their funds abroad without heavy oversight. Future policies may block Social Security payments to Americans who establish residency elsewhere. So look at the Financial Accountability Act as well. The bottom line is, does the United States government have the power, control to reduce or even send your Social Security payments to you if you are not actively living in the United States? And the answer is yes. Not the answer that we want to hear, but the answer that we need to hear. Okay. So what do you do? What do you do? The country that you're a resident in, look at the banking laws, start paying attention to make sure that you're not negatively impacted. You don't want to suddenly have your account closed or anything like that. If there's any way that you can shift the monies so that you can earn dividends or just shift monies where it's safer in your international account, I would definitely do that. Okay. I would also look for an additional stream of income, because if you are relying on your Social Security as part of your living expenses, then if there's a way for you to start replacing most, if not all of that, start looking for that right away. If you need to downsize, so for example, if you're living in a villa in the country that you're a resident in, and you'll save money by downsizing, into a one bedroom condo or something like that of that nature. Then do that, because of course, returning to the United, being forced to return to United States is just not an option. So look at what you can put in place, shift, add, amend how you're living, because this is a real thing. It is a real possibility that you should plan for. Okay.